So shot, feels like we're running out of options, and honestly, technology couldn't solve the problems of being dominated by the global hegemon. Digital domination, like simulation, in a world filled with NPCs and fake pages, fake food and news, fake smiles on fake faces. Prepare to fight the war, get ready for acclamation. Digital domination, like simulation, in a world filled with NPCs and fake pages, fake food and news, fake smiles on fake faces. Prepare to fight the war, get ready for acclamation. Your smart device has applications that could make you famous. Digital domination, instant gratification. Now we losing patience with a short attention span. Dumb them down so they can't recognize the scam. Chatbots, Photoshop, TikTok, and Instagram. A whole generation who's only playing it for the fans and FTs. You be mine and crypto on the blockchain. Black Box, State Street, really on the stock exchange. It don't seem strange that when you're all alone, you start to deal with it. If you ain't got your phone, your zombies and clones. For artificial intelligence, piloted drones. Facial recognition scans target your dome. The Agenda 2030 gonna target your home. Microchips under your skin, right next to your bone. Should've read the Georgia Guidestones before it was gone. It'll make you start to cry when you finally realize that they use the fluoride to calcify your third eye and try to leave you blind so they can control your mind. Propaganda specifically designed to hypnotize, make you start to.
What does anything in the world right now would make me believe in the Bible? What do you mean with all the stuff going on in the world? Huh? Bro, sometimes you make no sense. You act like this is the first time ever in the history of the world that this shit has happened. This shit has been like this forever. Every 100 years, the same shit right now. Bro, Bible prophecy was 2,000 fucking years ago, bro. 2,000 years ago. Every prophecy, you know what they said? 400 years ago, they said the Antichrist is here. This is the end of the world. 300 years ago, they said the Antichrist is here. This is the end of the world. They say that shit every century, bro. Every 50 years. Every 20... Obama was the Antichrist. Donald Trump was the Antichrist. When Trump got in office, they said he's the Antichrist and the world is going to end. That was 8 years ago. He's not the Antichrist. The world never ended. Motherfuckers say this shit every 20 years. Somebody says, oh, it's the end times. Get yourself together now. You will never know when God is coming back. Motherfuckers been saying that for 2,000 years, bro. So what does it matter today? Oh, all the stuff that's going on in the world right now doesn't make you believe in God? The fucking fall of the Roman Empire happened. The Roman Empire fell, and the world still goes on. The world still goes on. The Bible prophecies are not prophecies. They're very vague and ambiguous. They are not detailed at all. There is no prophecy in the Bible that says on January the 24th in the year 2133, a man will be born. His name will be Ezekiel Malachi, and there is no prophecy like that. There is no date, specific time, a specific place, or a specific person. Never. Prophecies are so vague, you can make them say whatever the fuck you want them to say, and it can fit any time period that you want it to fit in. Oh, the bear and the dragon and this and that. That's World War fucking II. In World War II, it was the bear and the dragon fighting and all of this shit. That prophecy already happened in World War II. That prophecy fit that scenario perfectly. Perfectly. That wasn't the end of the fucking world. No revelations, no rapture, no nothing. All of these prophecies could fit any major period in history you want it to fit. Any major war that we've ever had, any major conflict between nations, any major pandemic, the Spanish flu, the Black Plague, the Black fucking Plague. Wasn't that the end of the world? Don't you think that people who lived through the Black Plague said this is God's wrath, this is God's punishment, this is the end of the world here? No, it didn't fucking end. So, no, all the shit that's going on in the world today doesn't make me believe in the fucking Bible. You're a fucking moron for even postulating that perspective. You act like this is the worst it has ever been in all of human history. It's not, bro. It's not. Do some fucking research. Read some history. Shit is actually pretty good right now. all the stuff going on in the world doesn't make you believe in the Bible? The Bible? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This shit has been going on in the world for thousands of fucking years, and it's not changing. Nothing's changing. You're weird for even trying to formulate that question. All the stuff going on in the world today. Once again, the shit that's going on right now isn't as bad as World War I and World War II was. It's not as bad as fucking Desert Storm or the Gulf War or none of this shit. It's not as right now. It's not as bad as fucking Vietnam. So what are you trying to say? How are you trying to? Where's the correlation? Where's the simile you're trying to make? Because you're not doing a good job at it. Bible prophecy, dude. Bible prophecy. And Bible prophecies are fucking fake. They don't mean anything. Yo, what's good, my guy? Just had this weird dude come back in here. He changed his name and put a face on his shit. Above all people, 144,000. This weird ass Bible thumping dude coming here with these weird ass Bible questions. I like that I'm not forgot about though. Motherfuckers still remember my stream. They come back in here with the same weird ass. Oh, that's that guy is on again? The painter guy with the dreads. Let me go troll this motherfucker real quick and ask him some shit about the Bible. Because I know he hates that. I know he hates that.
Dirty K. Dirty K. Dirty K. We still roll, we still ride. South Carolina be so blind. All of the fire, y'all keep riding. I'm the king of the jungle, y'all just lying. We still rolling, we still ride. South Carolina be so blind. All of the fire, y'all keep riding. I'm the king of the jungle.
You think him and Mark know each? You think they know each other? Damn. Above all, that's fucked up. He said you and Mark, homeboys. Damn. My whole question to him was, when has the world not been fucked up? With all this stuff going on in the world, when has this stuff not been going on in the world? Mankind are horrible creatures. We are horrible, dangerous, violent creatures. And as long as we've been here, we've been horrible, dangerous, and violent. And as long as we remain here, we will be horrible, dangerous, and violent. The world has always been this way. Yes, there are mostly good people. Mostly. Believe what you want. No hate there, but you came into the chat on some shit, my guy. It's the same. He's been here before. That's why he asked. You still don't? No, I still don't, bro. I still don't. And I'm okay with that. You know, because I still try to be a good person. I don't go around like kicking I don't go around kicking babies and punching old ladies in the face. I don't do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't touch little kids, and I don't fucking rob and steal from people. I just try to be a good person. And believe it or not, I don't need a religion to do that. I don't need to go to a church to do that. I don't need to believe in a God, a certain particular God, to try to be a good person. Just be a good person. What the fuck? How is that so hard? Why is that so hard to understand? I'm not a thief. I'm not a raper. I'm not a murderer. That's what the Ten Commandments say, right? Obey thy mother and father. Don't covet thy neighbor's belongings. Don't commit adultery. Don't lie. Don't steal. That's the Ten Commandments, right? I live by that shit. I don't need a book to tell me that. There is a natural way to live. And if you need instructions on how to be a good person, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. If somebody has to tell you how to live your life a decent way, there's something wrong with you, man. Are you saying that wasn't messed up? Once again, the first humans can't get it together. The first humans can't get it together. Adam and Eve disobey, Cain killing, Tubal-Cain, the Tower of Babel, even the Nephilim, even Satan. Even Satan was on the right hand man. That's my right hand man. That's my right hand. Satan was like, nah, I'm good. I don't fuck with this nigga no more. And then Satan left heaven. Satan said, yo, who coming with me? Half of the motherfuckers came. Heaven can't be that good of a place. I be thinking about that. If Satan left and he took like half of the angels with him, heaven must not be great. Half of the motherfuckers like, nah, I'm out too, nigga. Fuck this shit. George Carlin broke down the Ten Commandments. He broke them down. What he did, down to 3. He broke the 10 Commandments down to 3. Because he was like, this and this, that's the same thing. Cross that out. This and this, that's the same thing. Cross that out. They 3 fucking commandments, man. They 3 fucking commandments, man. Look, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. Don't kill, or whatever. Cheating and stealing, same thing. You are through. Okay, above all. Alright, when you get this right here, when you get yourself one of these, from 1885. You see when this shit was given out? 1885. I'll let you do the math. I'll let you do the math. My book older than your book. And my book has this right here. The book's called Apocrypha. If you ain't got this, and so are you. Don't chop him yet. I'm having fun. Damn. He done got you, bro. Hey man, we know about this shit, bro. We know about this shit over here, bro. I read and I study. I understand the history. I understand the myths, the legend. Some of it is real, some of it ain't. Once again, man, just like the Spider-Man comic book. Spider-Man live in New York City, yo. In New York City. New York is a real place. But Spider-Man is not a real person. You know what I'm saying? Israel and Bethlehem, these are all real places. The characters and the names may have been changed to protect the innocent, though. So that's how I look at the Bible stories, man. Fiction. It's a fictional history. It's a fictional history. It does have history to it, and there are some real aspects to some of these stories. But it's still mostly fiction. It's mostly fiction, and you don't got nothing like this. Only for 30 minutes. Put them in timeout. You are through, and so are you. Yeah. Watch out. Watch out. Oh, damn. Damn. Now he watching and he mad because he can't comment. He be alright though, man. Let me pull out another Bible. I got some more Bibles in here somewhere. I got this for you. Yo, man, hold the Bible. See the whole. Hey, this is small. This is standard. This is probably what you got. This ain't got all the good shit like my big book do. Hey man, it's the Bible. Look. Check them out. Man, I even got highlighter in there, taking notes and shit, bro. Take notes, notations. You know what I'm saying? My old Bible, I had ran through the whole thing and had all my good notes in there. So when I got this one, I was like, I'm gonna go through this one and get my notes again. Cause I let somebody else borrow my Bible with all my notes in it, cause they wanted to see like, what the fuck you taking notes on this? I was like, all right, read it the way I read it, and pay attention to the highlight points. And then I had a lot of writing in the margins, cause my old Bible was just a regular Bible, so I didn't have like the concordance and all that shit in there. So I had a Bible dictionary. And so I was reading it, and then I look in the dictionary, and then I'll write shit in the Bible, so I wouldn't have to go back to the dictionary all the time. And I let somebody borrow that Bible, never got that shit back with all my fucking notes and that shit. That's why I don't lend out books no more, yo. I let my cousin borrow 48 Laws of Power, and never got that back. And then let my homie borrow that Bible I had, never got that back. I don't loan books out no more. Notes, because Genesis is my favorite. Yeah, a lot of people just, oh, I know the Bible. Do you really know the Bible, man? This shit is weird, bro. There's a lot of weird shit, man. And just like, and once again, if you read it, especially like, I love Genesis, bro. I probably read Genesis like 20 times. I know Genesis more than the rest of the Bible, because it's the start. It's like, okay, how did this shit really start? And if the start of the book don't make sense, then the rest of the book can't make sense. And the start of the book don't make sense, yo. It's just a weird, like, it's the people of that time trying to explain to themselves, like, where did we come from? And, you know, how did this thing get started? And this was their explanation. That don't make it true, though. Don't make it true. You know why? Because there is over 2,500 deities, yo. And people been worshiping gods way before this. And that's like, every time at a young age when I started to learn like more stuff, like it just kept compounding and compounding on like, how do you believe this then? If this isn't the first religion and this isn't the first set of gods, then what happened to the gods that came before this? And the religions, so they just don't exist. They don't make any sense anymore. But all of a sudden this does. Like this is the true religion, but then when you read it thoroughly and then you read other pagan religions and the Egyptian pantheon and the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Greek pantheon, it's all the same stories. They're all telling the same stories. So once again, there has to be some truth to it because everyone everyone tells this same story. They just use different characters, and it varies slightly, but there's only one story really. So do I believe in the Bible? No. Do I believe that these old tales have some basis in reality? Yes, I do. I think this is a very old attempt to tell this story. I think this is the real story. I think the Atlantean, Anunnaki, Lemurian story is real. I think that on this planet, a civilization rose to the height where we're at now, to this very high point of technology, communication, transportation, manufacturing, and everything. And just like now, like there are very primitive tribes still all over the world. Um, not so much in America, um, but definitely in parts of Africa, Australia, all over South America. Um, there are still some nomadic tribes in like the Middle East, but definitely like Sentinel Island is probably the best example of that, uncontacted people. And so, yeah, to this day, Sentinel Island is a population of people who have not entered the modern age, and they've been isolated for like some people say like 30,000 years. Seems like a long time, but not really. You know what I'm saying? They've been on that island isolated for a long time. And then if anybody tries to come on their island, they kill these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Kill everybody. And they probably are the purest humans left. They are probably the only pure humans. And like in the Amazon, there are still uncontacted tribes. So we know that very primitive people can live alongside very advanced people. And so I think this has happened once before, where a very, very advanced society, a global society, something happened and it went to shit. And there were very, very few survivors of this advanced culture and civilization. But the ones who survived found these uncontacted tribes, these more primitive people, and elevated them with the knowledge and information. And so these advanced people are our gods. They are um, Horus and Isis and Gilgamesh and uh, Jesus. These are those people, and they were so much advanced that their understanding of physics, nature, the world, math, and technology, it seemed like magic to us because they could fly. They had the ability of flight, more than likely the ability to manipulate what we call gravity, so like levitation and different things like that. Way more advanced understanding of mathematics, so they could build and and structured and organized. The understanding of metallurgy, so making iron and smelting and things like that. And even in the Bible, I forgot which angel came and taught man these different things like agriculture and textiles, how to make fabrics and ropes and yarns and things like that, how to smelt ore to purify it to get different metals. Uh, and so who exactly were these people? Once again, the Bible says they were angels. UFO people say they're aliens. I'm kind of leaning more towards just a more ancient civilization that was already here. That I don't know if they, evolved here or if they came here from somewhere else, but so yeah, with all the shit going on in the world today, does that make this any more real? I don't think so. the, the word of God written by man. Now, how does that happen? Hey, man, because God chooses certain people and uses them as a conduit to deliver his message to the masses. Okay. But then once again, even as a child, bro, 7, 8, 9, because I was really in a churchy family. So I'm trying to understand this. Okay, God is all powerful. He is all knowing. He knows the mind and heart of everybody. But he chooses prophets and messengers. Why don't God just talk to everybody? Why don't you just talk to everybody? Hey, God, but you choose certain people to deliver your message, and they get the message through a dream or a hallucination or a vision. They call them visions. I don't that just happen to everybody. Why don't God just open the sky and just like, yo, people of Earth, here's a book, you know? If you just ask the most simplest, obvious questions, it all breaks down. And everybody said, well, you have to have a personal relationship with God, and you have to truly believe, and that you can hear God speaking to you. Oh, I've tried. I wanted to believe. I don't know. So, is there something more to the physical world? I really do believe that. I think there is something to metaphysics. There is something about energy that we really, really don't understand. We really, really have no idea what our consciousness is or how it arises. What is the source of our consciousness? It comes from this meat bag, but it's not a part of the meat bag. Is weird. It's weird. So we don't understand that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff we don't understand, and I'm fine with that. You have to be fine saying I don't know or I don't understand. You just can't say, oh, this is it. This is the definite answer. There is nothing else. If you don't believe this, you're wrong and you're going to fucking burn in hell. And it's like, that's not very convincing to me. You have to convince me before I believe it. And I have yet to be convinced that I need to believe everything in this book for me to live a decent and happy, moral life. No one has ever convinced me of that. And once again, I think I'm a okay person, not perfect by any means, and I have done some terrible shit that I feel deeply sorry for, But I try to be the best person that I can be, and all of the really terrible things that I've done, I've apologized for all of them deeply from my center. Just try to, hey, that was fucked up, and I apologize for that, and I need to do better. So I don't know, like, it's good to know this stuff though. There's a lot of moral stories in here. There's a lot of stories that aren't moral, and it's just like, that's fucked up. But blind faith, don't ask questions. Now I do believe that there's something after this life. Just not sure what it is. And now I think there is something. That's what I want to believe too. I believe that, but I don't know. And after, countless hours of documentaries and reading, nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? But there has been enough reasoning towards this argument that says there's a strong possibility that our consciousness doesn't end when the meat bag stops working. And that's as far as we can go. After that, it's the unknown unknown. But there is a really good chance that the consciousness does not stop when the meat bag stops. And that's hopeful. Now, is that a spirit, a soul, a God, a heaven, an afterlife, or I don't know. And once again, I'm fine with saying I don't know. Some people aren't. Some people have to say, well, my God told me in his book that when this happens, then this will happen. Okay. Well, you got answers then. You have your answer. And that works for you. But then also I say that anybody who is a believer in the Bible is a believer in the simulation theory, or the simulation hypothesis, that we are not living in base reality. We are actually living in an artificial reality that is created by a programmer that is in actual base reality. Right? And so the programmer is God. And base reality, like true reality, is heaven. And so once you're able to leave this lower generated world, you get to elevate to the real world. You get to go where the creator is at, where the programmer is at. You get to go to base reality, to the real world, and you exit this simulation. Right? Or am I doing too much with that one? No? I refuse to believe we go through everything we go through in this life just for nothing. Hey man, that's why you gotta make this trip the best trip around. Because for all we know, it's just the one time. For all we know, bro, this is the one time we get. So this shit needs to be spectacular. Whatever your version of that shit is. If you like jumping out of airplanes, man, jump out of as many planes as you can in as many countries, over as many beautiful mountains as you can, or whatever, man. If you like snowboarding, same thing, man. You like making music, pour your damn heart out into it. Whatever your thrill is, do that shit very often. What they say, do what you love until it kills you. Okay, we got the ones that we know about for sure. Everything else is a maybe. Possibly. Yo, I really think Dane Calloway is secretly a Trump supporter, yo. Yo, this clip right here from Dane posted 1 hour ago. It says they thought we would forget about what happened. They thought we would forget about what happened. Okay? And then, but the thumbnail is Trump. It's a picture of Trump. So he done said a couple things about Trump already. Like, when people said the assassination attempt was fake, he went through the whole scenario. It's like, bro, that shit was not fake, nigga. And then he just put out a video about Kamala Harris, how she is fake. How she a fake person who just got pushed through the ranks somehow and got to be where she's at, knowing she don't know nothing. And so now he back on Trump again. Yo, Dane is a damn. Yo, they ain't gonna vote for Trump, yo. Yo, this is crazy.
Just as importantly, bringing back empowerment will give us a crucial tool with which to obliterate the deep state, drain the swamp, and starve the warmongers, these people that want wars all over the place, killing. They love killing. And the globalists out of our government. We're going to get the warmongers and the globalists out of our government. Why we are more determined than ever to drain the swamp, and that's what we're doing, draining the swamp. Only this way can we save the America we love and drain the Washington swamp once and for all. And I never even knew the swamp was this bad. Swamp is bad. Bad people. A lot of bad people in the swamp. Bad people in the swamp. We got a lot of bad people in that swamp, those swamp creatures they call them. But step by step, we're getting it. You thought this was going to be easy, right? A lot of bad people. With your help, we will lift millions of our citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and from poverty to prosperity. That's what's happening in our country. What's going on now is the single greatest scam in the history of American politics. The Democrats want to take away your guns. They want to take away your health care. They want to take away your vote. They want to take away your freedom. They want to take away your judges. They want to take away everything. We can never let this happen. We're fighting to drain the swamp, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And you see why we have to do it. Because our country is at stake like never before. It's all very simple. They're trying to stop me because I'm fighting for you. They're trying to stop me because I'm fighting for you.
Again, it's necessary, but it's not sufficient, because what can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified, and then we need bodyguards for everybody. And they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified, and then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because that he's disqualified, and then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because, so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified, and then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the Great 14th Amendment means.
This is the stuff your insurance company doesn't want you to know about. Have you noticed your auto insurance payments have practically doubled recently? Insurance companies are hiking up
I'm just here to make you think. Hit him, Dane.
Produced by Dane Calloway and Tanisha Calloway. Watch this brand new documentary, Mother Rosa, right now at DaneMakeYouThink.com.
Red-blooded Americans, people are like, how can Trump have such support? Well, people are fed up with it, and he speaks the rhetoric of like taking back, making America great again and stuff. My thing is, he had 4 years to do it and didn't drain the swamp, and whether he just got scared because of what he learned when he was in there, I think is very plausible.
Today we're on the verge of another American medical miracle. This is one of the greatest miracles in the history of modern day medicine. Pfizer and Moderna have announced their vaccine is approximately 95% effective. These vaccines are also very safe. A medical miracle.
Both the president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so
came up with a vaccine, with 3 vaccines. All are very, very good. The vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. And if you take the vaccine, you're protected. People aren't dying when they take the vaccine. Woody Johnson, a great gentleman. You ever hear of Johnson & Johnson? He owns the place, I tell you what. This guy's got cash like nobody's got cash. It's a great vaccine. It's a safe vaccine, and it's something that works. I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccine. Not only did we push the FDA far beyond what the bureaucrats wanted to do, we also put up billions and billions of dollars, $10 billion, to produce the vaccines before we knew they were going to work. We did the right thing. We closed the country down. Could have kept it open. And I could have done what some countries are doing. I had to shut it down. We did the right thing. I thought of keeping it open.
This is not so good, because this is a lot of the shit that I disagree with what he did, though.
And say, sir, we have to close it. And we did the right thing. And a group of very smart people walked in and say, sir, we have to close it. And we did the right thing.
A group of very smart people walked in.
And a group of very smart people walked in and said, sir, we have to close it. And a group of very smart people walked in and said, sir.
Bill Gates in the White House. Trump offered him a job as White House science advisor, he says. Published on April 30th, 2018 on from USA Today. Bill Gates' meeting with Donald Trump included a surprise offer, a job for the Microsoft co-founder in the White House. And see, that's, I don't know. I'm gonna just see where he's taking this stuff, because this is my thing too. I think that before, and I've already said this, so. This stream is for entertainment purposes only. Don't believe anything I say. I'm not a professional. I don't have any degrees. I'm not giving out advice. If you think anything I say is true, do your own research, because I'm wrong most of the time. I'm only doing this for fun. And YouTube, this stream is for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. So I've already said this a couple of times, and I don't mind saying it again. I'm not sure where Dane is about to take this videos, so I'll put my opinion out there I'll state my opinion clearly again. I really do think that Donald Trump, honestly, whatever you think his upbringing and his background is, because I have to take that into consideration. This dude was born well before segregation. 1965. Segregation ended in 65. This dude was born in like the 40s or something, or 50s or something. He was born well before segregation to a wealthy family. So he was a rich little kid during segregation. Okay, so if you don't think that has anything to do with his early experiences in life and his upbringing and the way he perceived the world around him and other people around him, especially less fortunate people or people of other racial backgrounds, you gotta be fooling yourself. Can people grow and change? Absolutely, people can grow and change. Unless you're a pedophile, you can't change from that shit. You a pedophile, you a pedophile. But can people grow and change? I do believe so. But on top of that, once again, Trump was born into a family of privilege. His family of privilege came from this country, America. He's an American boy. He loved his country. You know what I'm saying? I think he really does love this country, and I think he went into office, honestly, with the best intentions. Like, I'm going to show everybody how to fucking run this country. Because I'm good at business and commerce, and I'm going to show people how to do this shit. And I really think he went in there with the best of intentions. He said, I'll do the shit for free. I don't need the money. I don't want the money. And I really do think he donated all of his salary, his presidential salary, to like charities and shit. But I think he went in there with good intentions, and I think that he thought he had a good squad in the beginning. I think he thought he had a good squad, and this is his first time in there. He's not a real big political guy, never held office or anything like that. So, and also being a businessman, you gotta have accountants and lawyers and advisors. So him taking advice from other people would probably just be second nature. You know what I'm saying? And you just look at the TV show he had. You can't do that by yourself. You have producers and network marketing and all this stuff. So you have to listen to what other people who are professionals in their field have to say. If you want your product to succeed, if you want your service and your business to succeed, you have to have like he said, what he thought were smart people around you. And he thought that's what he had in the beginning. And so he listened to everybody. He's listening to these people. He thought he chose the right people, or the suggestions that were made to him. Hey, you should put this guy in this spot. You should put this guy in that spot. Anthony Fauci, you should grab him up. And he did all of that. And then after a while, he started seeing this shit like, all y'all motherfuckers fake as fuck, yo. All y'all motherfuckers fake as shit. And then towards the end, he started questioning Fauci. He started questioning the whole lockdown procedures. He started letting motherfucking different people go off his staff and shit. Even him and his VP started beefing. That's like, oh, this nigga went in office and really woke the fuck up. He really woke up. Like, oh shit. And now, I think that's what makes him more of a threat. He knows the real game now. This motherfucker knows the real game, and he's still in the same position. Wealthier than the motherfucker. Don't need the money. He don't need this shit. He want to do it because, once again, I think he feels like he can do the best job because he's going to do the job. And they don't want him to do the job because he keeps talking about anti-war. You can't be anti-war and be a president. They don't like that shit, yo. They don't like that shit. They don't like that. The military-industrial complex is the main player on the block. And you gonna keep us in war, America. And then somebody said, well, America don't need wars. Get this motherfucker out the way. Get him out the way. Now. Oh, that's crazy. I smell barbecue grill. I smell barbecue. I charcoal, the good shit. And I hear thunder. Somebody about to be mad. Cause I just started smelling charcoals. Like they just getting started good. How that shit whiffing up here right now. I went smelling that shit a few minutes ago. And that's crazy. Like soon as I start smelling the grill, I hear a little bit of thunder coming. It might not be nothing. They might be able to cook them burgers and get away with it. Throw it on the grill, throw it on the grill.
We have to close it. And a group of very smart people walk in and say, sir, we have to close it. And a group of very smart people walk in and say, sir, we have to close it. And a group of very smart people walk in and say, sir. A lot of people have thought about it. Write it out. Don't do anything. Just write it out and think of it as the flu. But it's not the flu. It's vicious. We basically shut down our country. We did the right thing. We had to close it down. The President of the United States calls the shot. We were told we got to shut it down, stop it, tell everyone to stay home because of this horrible virus. And we did that. We had to artificially close our country. We've done this right. And we really have done this right.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000? Because I use Amazon AI. I'm going to show you a way to potentially make money by pairing Amazon.
Very ticked off, Vic, here. You know what ticks me off? Having to tell the government what to do because they have their heads in their asses. Now, follow me. There's something that's been bothering me, so I'm just going to say it now. Dear government, we understand that the virus is not your fault. It happened. It is what it is. I'm not going to get into that idea that maybe you could have acted sooner. We can deal with that when this is all over. But here's the deal. We need a real plan. It was the right move to make everyone stay home because that's the only way to deal with a virus like this. But here's where I have a problem. So, you told us to shut down non-essential businesses. You told us to go home and quarantine. You told us we have to keep social distance and stay inside. But you told us you would help. So where is the fucking help? These checks are what they are. I mean, let's be serious. I'm not going to turn away $1,200 because, number one, if you're going to give it to me, I'm taking it. And number two, it's our fucking money, not yours. It's ours. We pay that in taxes for everything we do every fucking day. So, okay, look at the typical family. Mortgage payment, healthcare payment, car payments, electric, water, garbage, phone, blah, 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 blah. So maybe the $1,200 covers the mortgage. But what about all the other costs that we have each month? This $1,200 thing isn't doing shit for a normal working family. You want to help? Here's what I did. Tell the banks and mortgage companies to stop all mortgage payments at this time. Just stop them. And don't give me that 3-month furlough book. How does that even make sense? So someone who lost their job because you said to stay at home doesn't pay mortgage for 3 months, but in the 4th month they have to not only pay that month that's due, but also the 3 months they own in full because it was furloughed. How the does that help? You greedy suckers. Someone was just unemployed and not earning money for 3 months. They weren't earning money. Hello? Now they just start back to work and all that money magically appears so they can pay the 3 months in a lump sum. How are they fucking paying that? Are you fucking idiots? Look, it almost makes sense that they can stop paying the current mortgage due for a month when they go back to work. But they can't pay the prior 3 months. They had no income. So here's the idea. Just add the 3 fucking months of the furlough to the back end of the loan. So if they have, let's say, 19 years and 6 months left in their mortgage, just add the 3 months. So now they have 19 years and 9 months. How fucking hard is that? You get your money, you bags. It's just delayed. The market stiff wins if you do that. It really helps. It actually helps. And what is up with these banks and lending assholes? I mean, come on. You literally make billions of dollars in profit quarterly. That's every 3 months. The last crash was 10 years ago. So you have 10 years of massive profits and you need a bailout after 2 weeks of a shutdown? How come we, the people, have to save for rainy day, but you save nothing? Every quarter that you make $3 billion in profit, not income, profit, and all That means you paid all your salaries and bills and everything you needed to pay to run a company for 3 months. So every time you made $3 billion in a quarter, if you had just put $1 billion in the bank, you'd have $40 billion in the bank after 10 years. That's not even including interest. But no, you greedy suckers have to get bailed out again from our taxpayer money, and then you should us by not giving us a real break on our mortgages, credit card bills, or car payments, or anything, and the government allows this. We bail you out, we get rinse, lather, repeat. You dirt-neck piece of should have had more than enough money to keep paying your workers and give everyone a break in mortgage payments the way I said for the time being. And again, I'm not saying to wipe the slate clean. I'm saying to just add the missing mortgage payment to the back end of everyone's loans. Do it for everything. The car lease is now 3 months longer. The credit card payment is now 3 months longer. The mortgage payment is now 3 months longer. You want to help the American worker, you can eliminate all payments due until this is over. That way, unemployment and stimulus checks would only be needed for food. That is what the American family needs now. That would help us. You greedy suckers and you government lackeys who suck the balls of the big corporations and the people are just as bad. Shame on you all. There could be a real plan in place, a real plan to get people through these next few months, a real plan to be testing, a real plan to allow workers who are considered non-essential to not worry about catching a virus and losing their house. You do the right thing, you peckerheads. Having to tell the government what to do because they have their heads in their ranches. That's what ticks me off.
Achieve perfect eyesight with these brilliant glasses. Millions of people in the world wear glasses. But what happens when the prescription changes? The only option is to get a new pair, and that can easily set you back by hundreds of dollars. But thanks to these adjustable eyeglasses, you can have perfect 20/20 vision at
There's almost nothing anymore that he can do that would surprise me in terms of the ongoing grift. You know, Donald Trump promised the country when he ran in 2016 that he would drain the swamp. Really, all he did was rearrange the swamp, rearranged it so that he could make money off of regular voters to pay his own legal fees, to pay $208,000 for his wife's stylist, and to set up a $2 billion grift from the Saudis for his daughter Ivanka and his son-in-law Jared. You know, we see the same thing with Hunter Biden and what he's doing. We have two ruling families right now in this country who put themselves before the people they're supposed to represent. We need a wholesale change.
Chris Christie, who was on this program a couple of weeks ago, says he's the only one who goes directly at Trump. Insult for insult, calling him a coward and so forth. And then the rest of you just dance around for fear of offending him or his supporters. Does he have a point?
I don't do insults, so that is true. I think just getting in this insult game turns voters off. It's not something I want to do. Substantively, we've been very frank at our differences with respect to the former president. I mean, for example, he promised to drain the swamp. It got worse. He did not drain the swamp. He promised that Bill have Mexico pay for a border wall. They did like 50 miles of wall. There's massive, expansive still there. He said he was going to eliminate the national debt. They added almost $8 trillion to the debt in 4 years. And of course, in 2020, he turned the country over to Dr. Fauci, and those lockdowns and the borrowing and printing really sent us on a bad course. I've been very, very frank at that, but I have no interest in attacking Donald Trump or any of these other candidates personally. I think we've got to rise above that and let's focus on the issues.
Once allies.
And as a result, we are where we are today, which is in a period of crisis. And we have two crises, and they both derive from the same condition. And that condition is the corporate emergence of the domination of corporate power over American democracy that accelerated beginning in 2010 with the Citizens United case that unleashed a tsunami of corporate money into the American political process. And both parties are now captured by that corporate money. And they've lost any kind of authentic connection to the American people or to the populist goals of the republic and of democracy. Everybody says they're going to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C., and I think they mean it. You know, these presidential candidates, I think President Trump meant it. But then, they get into office and they're confronted by these agencies. Each one has their own problems. Each one is, they're all corrupt. They're all captured. But each one of them has different solutions. And, President Trump said that he was going to drain the swamp. But then he brought John Bolton in to run the NSA, who's like the template for swamp creatures. And he brought Mike Pompeo, who was in to run the State Department, who was the most bellicose and belligerent foreign policy, militarized foreign policy to any individual in our country. He brought Scott Gottlieb, a business partner to Pfizer, in to run FDA. And Gottlieb did an $88 billion favor for his company. And then he left FDA back to the board of directors to collect his payoff. And if you look at every one of the agencies, the same thing happened. There were more lobbyists in government than any time in American history, running the agencies that are supposed to regulate their industries. And it wasn't about draining the swamp. And as I believed President Trump wanted to do that, but I don't think he was able to. I don't think he was able to stand up to his bureaucracy. And he said great things. He said, I don't want to do lockdowns. They make no sense. And then a week later, he ordered a 2-week lockdown that ended up in almost 2 years. And he said that hydroxychloroquine worked, and then he backed down, so he was able to be rolled by his bureaucracy. And I believe that he had his chance, and that President Biden had his chance. And the big issues that are confronting our nation, which is the systematic destruction of the working poor, of the American middle class, that has gotten worse and worse and worse. And we need a big change in this country. And, the media and the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, neither of them are saying that they're offering a change. They're all saying, you better vote for my candidate because the other guy is scary and he's going to destroy the republic. And don't you think that Americans deserve something better than the lesser of two evils?
Yo, Rob. Yeah, hold on. My bad, guys. My bad. I was, all the way into that shit, bro. Yo, Robert F. I've been listening to Robert for a while, like years and years ago. He did an interview. He was talking about how the inner cities are food deserts and how they purposely put black and brown people in, worse living conditions. I was like, who the fuck is this dude? And I was like, that's a Kennedy. And ever since then, like, I was like, dude is on to some shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's Dane. Dane, he ain't really say shit yet, but he just playing different parts, yo. Did Rogan endorse RFK? I'm not sure about that one, bro. That's a good question. I don't know. He's definitely had him on. I don't think I listened to the interview, but I'm almost certain he had RFK on the show before. And I don't know, like I say, he's pretty level-headed, pretty smart guy. He talks about the deep state, and he talks about it as if he understands it pretty good. But once again, the candidates who do that, if you talk about the deep state, the military-industrial complex, the Federal Reserve, like, you don't get elected, because you can tell that these are the players that really handle shit. And if they don't want you in there, yeah, like I say, man, believe what you want to believe about the damn thing, but I think the last election was stolen. I'm not gonna lie, because they did not want old boy to get back in there. I think towards the end, just like RFK's saying right now, yo, I think Trump really wanted to do some shit. He really wanted to do, but he as soon as he got in there, he started putting bad people in bad places and handlers telling him to do this and do that, and he couldn't really, it's hard to maneuver. And so then I'm thinking too, so RFK, how you gonna handle that shit different? If you get in there, how would you handle it different though? You know what I'm saying? Because if you try to handle it different and really push hard, since you already have a roadmap and you can see it, you can see how they're gonna try to play you before you even get in that position. So when you're in that position, what are you gonna do? And if you try to do something too much, too extreme, they're gonna take a shot at your ass. And everybody should always know that's a possibility as a true patriot, as somebody who's trying to create true change. You just making yourself a fucking target, bro. Making yourself a damn target. Like everybody know, it's a good thing Trump didn't get fucking assassinated, because really nobody could predict like what would have happened after that. I don't even want to think what would have happened if they did. Oh boy.
Oh, you think that you deserve a president who's going to inspire you, who's going to listen to you, who's going to understand what your problems are, and is going to work
November is not far, bro.
every fiber of his being to solve them. Promised the last time around that he was going to drain the swamp, but instead he came in and he appointed a pharmaceutical lobbyist and CEO to run HHS, Verizon lobbyist to run the FCC, a Goldman Sachs CEO to run the Treasury Department, an oil lobbyist to run the Interior Department, a coal lobbyist to run the Environmental Protection Agency, and so on. And only today, President Trump has announced that in his new administration, should he win this election, that Jamie Dimon will be his choice as Commerce Secretary, and that Larry Fink, the director of BlackRock, will run the Treasury Department. This is the swamp. These are swamp creatures, and his pick as vice president is a salute to the CIA and to the intelligence community and to the military-industrial complex. Their gravy train is going to continue. And President Trump has a connection to the American people, a populist connection, but in many ways it's the same fraudulent connection that we saw with the DNC over the past year, concealing the real purpose of their objectives, which was to give us a president that represents corporate interests rather than the interests of the American public.
Hold on, I missed something where you just said just now. After these fair assessments of Trump's first term as POTUS, in your opinion, are these fair? Okay. Remember when Trump said he will lock up Hillary Clinton during his first presidential campaign? Lock her up. And then that's what got me too. Like after he became president and he was giving a speech somewhere and the crowd started shouting, "Lock her up." He was like, no, we're not gonna do that. That was good during the campaign, but now, I won, so we don't need to worry about her anymore. I was like, what? Wait a minute. Bruh, that don't make no sense.
Mr. President.
Yes.
President Biden is now not requiring his son, who is now a convicted felon facing more felony charges, activated. Would you consider granting clemency or pardon?
I don't think it's appropriate for me to talk about it. I think it's a tragic story. You want to know the truth. And I felt that with Hillary Clinton, too. You know, with Hillary Clinton, I could have done things to her that would have made your head spin. I thought it was a very bad thing. Take the wife of a president of the United States and put her in jail. And then I see the way they treat me. That's the way it goes. But I was very protective of her. Nobody would understand that, but I was. I think my people understand it. They used to say, lock her up, and I'd say, just relax, please. We won the election. I think it would be I think it would have been horrible for our country and we had her between the hammering of all of the files. And don't forget, she got a subpoena from the United States Congress. And then, after getting the subpoena, she destroyed everything that she was supposed to get. I thought it was so bad to take her and put her in jail, the wife of a president of the United States, and then when it's my turn, nobody thinks that way. I thought it was a very terrible thing. And she did a lot of very bad things. I'll tell you what, she was pretty evil. And she did a lot of very bad things. I'll tell you what, she was pretty evil. But in terms of the country and in terms of unifying the country, bringing it back, and to have taken her and to have put her in jail, and I think you know the things as well as I do. There were some pretty bad acts that she did. I think it would have been very bad for our country. And a lot of my people, a lot of the MAGA, as they call them, but the base. And I think the base is 75% of the country, far beyond the Republican Party, because we're a party of common sense, and I'm a person of common sense. I want to have low taxes. I want to have strong borders. I want to have a strong military so that China and Russia, look, they've allowed China and Russia to do the impossible combined. They're natural enemies. They always have been, because China needs more land and Russia has it. They've always been natural enemies, and because of Obama, it started with him, and then Biden, because he didn't know what the hell he was doing, they've now become one force, and then now they're adding Iran to it, and they're adding North Korea to it. Pretty powerful force. This is something that is unthinkable that they allowed to happen. This is something that is unthinkable that they allowed to happen. This is something that is unthinkable that they allowed to.
All right, so while he was talking, he postulated two questions across the screen. So one question was, he said, "Oh, you know, all the MAGA people were saying lock her up," and I said, no, that wouldn't be right. And then the question he put up there, what Dane put up there, he was like, locking her up would be draining the swamp, right? And then he was like, she's a bad person. She's done some evil things. And then then the question popped up there is like, so you're just gonna let evil people roam around free of consequence? Another good question. And then this last question here was this all done by design? Do you think the only way a president would allow corruption to continue is if the president is complicit in the corruption as well?
This is something that is unthinkable that they allowed to happen. This is something that is
Let's play a lightning round game. I'm going to be the bad guy, which I'm sure half the room would agree with anyway. And I want to get away with as much bad things as possible, ideally to enrich myself and advance my interests, even if that means putting my interests ahead of the American people. So, Mrs. Hobart Flynn. Oh, and by the way, I have enlisted all of you as my co-conspirators. So you're going to help me legally get away with all of this. So, Mrs. Hobart Flynn, I want to run. If I want to run a campaign that is entirely funded by corporate political action committees, is there anything that legally prevents me from doing that?
Learn how to edit really well from professional Hollywood editors. We're going to show you the stuff that nobody else is teaching.
No. Okay, so there's nothing stopping me from being entirely funded by corporate PACs, say from the fossil fuel industry, the healthcare industry, big pharma. I'm entirely 100% lobbyist PAC funded. Okay, so let's say I'm a really, really bad guy, and let's say I've had some skeletons in my closet that I need to cover up so that I can get elected. Mr. Smith, is it true that you wrote this article, this opinion piece for the Washington Post entitled, "These payments to women were unseemly, that doesn't mean they were illegal"?
Well, I can't see the piece, but I wrote a piece under that headline in the Post, so I assume that's right.
Okay, great. So, green light for hush money. I can do all sorts of terrible things. It's totally legal right now for me to pay people off. And that is considered speech. That money is considered speech. So I use my special interest dark money funded campaign to pay off folks that I need to pay off and get elected. So now I'm elected, now I'm in. I've got the power to draft, lobby, and shape the laws that govern the United States of America. Fabulous. Now, is there any hard limit that I have, perhaps Mrs. Hobart Flynn, is there any hard limit that I have in terms of what legislation I'm allowed to touch? Are there any limits on the laws that I can write or influence, especially if I'm based on the special interest funds that I accepted to finance my campaign and get me elected in the first place?
There's no limit.
So there's none. So I can be totally funded by oil and gas. I can be totally funded by Big Pharma. Come in, write Big Pharma laws, and there's no limits to that whatsoever.
That's right.
Okay, so awesome. Now, Mr. Mirabani, the last thing I want to do is get rich with as little work possible. That's really what I'm trying to do as the bad guy, right? So is there anything preventing me from holding stocks, say, in an oil or gas company, and then writing laws to deregulate that industry and cause, that could potentially cause the stock value to soar and accrue a lot of money in that time?
You could do that.
So I could do that. I could do that now with the way our current laws are set up. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so my last question is, or one of my last questions, I guess I'd say, is it possible that any elements of this story apply to our current government and our current public servants right now?
Yes.
Yes. So we have a system that is fundamentally broken. We have these influences existing in this body, which means that these influences are here in this committee shaping the questions that are being asked of you all right now. Would you say that that's correct,
Yes.
Mr. Mirabani or Mr. Schaub?
Yes.
All right, so one last thing, Mr. Schaub. In relation to congressional oversight that we have, the limits that are placed on me as a congresswoman, compared to the executive branch and compared to, say, the President of the United States, would you say that Congress has the same sort of standard of accountability? Is there more teeth in that regulation in Congress on the president, or would you say it's about even, or more so on the federal?
In terms of laws that apply to the president, yeah, there's just almost no laws at all that apply to the president.
So I'm being held, and every person in this body is being held to a higher ethical standard than the President of the United States.
That's right, because there are some ethics committee rules that apply to you.
And it's already super legal, as we've seen, for me to be a pretty bad guy. So it's even easier for the President of the United States to be one, I would assume.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Dad bods deserve better tees.
I found this brand called True Classic. It's your one-stop shop for men's fitted shirts.
We can't successfully drain the swamp in Washington, D.C. unless we know what caused this problem. Why does the swamp exist? Well, it's kind of like diagnosing a medical problem. Sure, you can take Motrin for a headache, but how do you actually cure the headache if you haven't diagnosed the source of the problem? Caffeine withdrawal, perhaps, or sinus infection, or a migraine, or, God forbid, a brain tumor. You have to know where the problem came from before you can eradicate it. That's like the Washington, D.C. swamp. Where did the swamp come from? Let's journey back. The real name for the swamp, or the deep state, is the administrative state. The administrative state is composed of government employees and officials in agencies in the executive branch of our federal government who are not elected, not appointed, have no accountability to voters, are nearly impossible to fire, and yet have the power to impose rules and regulations on us, we the people. These swamp creatures can stay in their positions of power even when administrations transition or politicians are voted out of office. And these swamp creatures wield incredible power. They've also been known to abuse that power. Here's the thing. The administrative state is obviously not part of the United States Constitution. So where did it come from? Isn't the administrative state a violation of the separation of powers among the legislative, the executive, and the judicial branches in our federal government? Well, the answer to that is obviously yes. Yet, this hasn't stopped the legislative branch from giving away their legislative power to the executive branch agencies. And sadly, it also hasn't stopped the Supreme Court from deferring to those agencies. Here's what I mean. We have this idea currently in our judicial branch that the courts should defer to the so-called expertise of the individual agencies for rulemaking, as long as the legislative branch delegated their powers to the agencies. Now, this clearly violates the idea of separation of powers as created by our founding fathers, and yet the Supreme Court let it happen anyway. By the way, you can read John Locke's theory on government, on which our founding principles were based, to understand the separation of powers was critical to preventing the government from arbitrarily ruling over the people, no accountability, and violating their rights in the process. This was the intention of our founding fathers, to separate powers and therefore protect people's individual rights. So when did we get so off track? Who did this? Well, the short answer is progressives did this. Progressives who attacked our constitutionally enshrined view of limited government, starting with Woodrow Wilson. Essentially, the progressives behind the creation of the administrative state, which we know today as the swamp or the deep state, wanted an autocracy. Woodrow Wilson was the 28th president of the United States. He served from the year 1913 to 1921. Wilson just didn't agree with the founders that the purpose of government was to protect the rights of the people. He thought government should do what the times demand. Wilson also naively envisioned this neutral administrative class who would operate the government administratively in good faith without being influenced by politics. I know, LOL, right? Amazing that just over 100 years since the U.S. literally fought a war against bad faith tyrannical politicians, an American president could be so naive, so stupid, as to think that mankind no longer has a lust for power and we could staff an unaccountable bureaucratic federal government with neutral employees who would make rules only in good faith without letting politics tinge them. Ridiculous. Wilson also argued that it was time for the Constitution to evolve to a living Constitution, which stands to reason because Wilson was inspired by a college professor named Frank Goodenow, who openly argued that the Founding Fathers' theory that government's purpose was to protect the natural rights of the citizens was, quote, worse than useless, because such a theory, quote, retards development. Now, for many years in our nation, these radical progressive ideas were stopped by the non-delegation theory, which, as the name suggests, did not allow the legislature to give away their power to unaccountable executive agencies. But following Woodrow Wilson's presidency and his radical progressive ideas permeating the political class and prepping the foundation for the future administrative state, the deep state, the swamp, stopped applying the non-delegation theory altogether. And what did we get? We got FDR's New Deal, which actually created the new bureaucracy in the executive branch that Woodrow Wilson envisioned. A new executive bureaucracy that didn't just include executive powers, but also included legislative and judicial powers, a critical violation of the separation of powers in our federal government. Then, we got LBJ's Great Society, which further damaged the separation of powers and instead empowered swamp creatures to rule behind the backs of our elected officials. And by the way, Woodrow Wilson's idea of a class of politically neutral administrative state civil servants, how did that end up working out? Well, according to FEC records as reported by The Hill, 95% of political donations during the 2016 election from federal government employees went to Hillary Clinton 95%. So much for politically neutral, unencumbered by partisan political agendas. So as you can see, what used to be a relatively straightforward federal government structure, the legislative branch made the laws, the executive branch enforced the laws, and the judicial branch ensured that the laws didn't violate the Constitution, this was turned on its head. And now, it's not just a matter of 1 or 2 or 3 or even a dozen corrupt deep state operatives violating our rights. It's a structural problem at the highest levels of our federal government, a fundamental violation of the separation of powers as dictated by our Constitution. So you can also see then why simply firing individual swamp creatures is a lot like playing whack-a-mole. If you fire one, another one is just going to pop up in the same place unless we fix the fundamental problem. And one president cannot fix this problem alone. This requires the legislative branch to stop delegating their power to the executive agencies, and the judiciary to reject the administrative state on a constitutional basis. The problem is, Congress members, including many Republicans, not just Democrats, don't want to drain the swamp. The swamp makes Congress's job easy. With the deep state in place making the rules, Congress doesn't have to legislate anything. They don't have to think about the details. They don't have to take positions that might be unpopular. They don't even have to consider whether their plans will work. They don't have to do anything that might threaten their chances at re-election. No. Congress has it easy with the swamp structure in place. They just pass vague laws that defer all the details to the executive agencies who make the rules, and then if anything goes south, Congress can point their finger at the executive branch. But make no mistake, unless we force our elected officials to reject the administrative state and take responsibility for their own legislative jobs, unless our elected officials then reject judicial nominees who would allow the violation of separation of powers, we will never truly drain the swamp.
I'm just here to make you think. Slow down. Sober like
Hello? Can anybody hear me? Alright, nice. What's up, everyone? Alright, so this is just a test. I'm gonna see if streaming works. I think we're gonna do one more formally on Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, and probably we'll just cover some of the news from the week in a more informal way. And needs to be louder. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so give me feedback how everything sounds, how everything looks. We're testing it out. Let me see if I could turn it up a bit. Give me a sec. Test. Is that better? I only turned it up slightly, so maybe not. Volume is a bit low. Let's see what I can do about that. what's going on in the background. Which part? This? On the mic. Alright. Now turn on the deep live cam. Yeah, maybe I'll try to do that on Friday. I actually haven't tested it myself yet. Okay, let me just try one more thing and see if I can turn up the volume a bit. Give me a sec. No, that's about as loud as it goes. Sound is good. Okay, cool. Thank you. Let's see if I share my screen. I will tell you something about it. I am talking with apparently somebody who is considered the UBI expert, and I'm starting to set up an interview with him. So oh, no sound. Okay, no sound.
No, you're back now.
How about now? Sound? We got sound? Ah, there we go. Alright, so this is why we do test streams. Sweet. Okay, so, let's see. I posted something a few days ago about UBI. Here we go. So, okay, time for me to study up on UBI. The impetus for me posting this was that I have potentially an interview getting set up with, let's see, he should be in here. Here we go. Scott Santens. He replied to one of my tweets, said he was interested. I haven't set it up yet, but hopefully I will. And so yeah, I asked for any resources to learn about UBI. It's just not something that I know a ton about. I think like first reaction is, you know, if everybody gets $10, then really nobody gets $10 because inflation. But like I'm not an economist. I don't know. So hopefully I get to learn up as much as I can before I get to actually talk to Scott. And thank you to Mahaprasad, if I hopefully pronouncing your name correctly. I'm not used to doing this. Give me tips, give me feedback. Yeah, let Scott explain UBI. Yeah. So before I actually talk to Scott, hopefully I get it set up. But once I do that, I want to be somewhat knowledgeable, not just prompt him with a question, let him talk the whole time. Actually, get some interesting dialogue going. UBI is the only way, Vogue 69 says. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Let's see. What else can we look at? What do you guys want to talk about for now? I rule the world, saying, yeah, I rule the world. What do you all think about I rule the world? Yeah, I watched I Rule the World go from
Bro.
basically, I don't know, I think I saw him when he was at like 3,000
2
followers. Now he's at
2
nearly
days.
25,000 followers.
It's not
He
that far,
started
bro.
really the strawberry meme hype train.
Let me take a bathroom break real quick.
It's just Sam's Altman. Yeah, maybe. He did get a reply from Sam. I don't know if it's actually him. Okay, so 1 minute ago, GPT-4o large. We'll see. Anything. He really could be anybody. He could have, just started the hype, and then Sam Altman or other OpenAI employees saw him starting the hype, and then it was almost like it made it true. 4o large kind of would follow in the naming format that they've been doing, right? There's GPT-4o mini. It's interesting. I don't know. I know I've seen some things that were just patently false that he posted, including about me, but I think he's just trolling a bit, and it started as a troll. Oh, hey, Mike. Mike Medvedev. Hey, man. Yeah, this is my first time streaming. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Follow me, then blocked me. Yeah, it's interesting. And then he did post. He did post a GitHub repo, which I'm trying to find. And by the way, this post, 1.4 million views of his, basically just kind of restating a lot of what we already know about Project Strawberry Q-Star, if it's actually true. We'll see. I don't think there's anything new in here. Did you all actually see anything new? UBI better not fall. If it does, it's artificially done. Okay. Got a question. Anyone else think AI will be a force for good? Ooh, that is a broad question. Yes. Broad answer. Let's see what Williams said. Engagement X. Yeah. Is there a way to poll? Engage with your audience? Oh yeah, here we go. Start a poll. Alright, I'm going to test this out. Let's see. Okay. Can you all see that poll? Let's jailbreak I Rule the World. Morning from New Zealand. Kiwi. Well, whoever I Rule the World is, he is definitely a hype master. He even joked about starting a course for how to build up a engagement or fall. I think I saw something like that. He's going to charge for it. I think that's hilarious. Any thoughts on why the X algo is pushing Strawberry so hard? Well, first, the algorithm is public, so I think yeah, I don't know. I think he just did. First of all, it's an interesting topic. It had an emoji associated with it, so it was visually compelling. If you're just scrolling through your timeline and you all of a sudden see a bunch of strawberries, And then, yeah, just a lot of engagement from the AI community, and that just started the hype train. And then, you know, stupid YouTubers talking about it, like myself, probably didn't help. Okay, start. All right, switch to live chat. So, by the way, my editor, channel manager, Alex McCraw, is in here as well. He'll be helping out, doing some moderation. Please say hi to him. He edits every video. Basically, I don't know how many videos I have now, 350 or so. For about the first 200 or 180 or so, I did it all. And then Alex came on and just allowed me to create a lot more video, and he's just amazing at editing and really knowing what to put out there. When you mentioned GPT-4o large, are you referring to the 64K output window? No, output window, right. So I think the token window currently is at 128, but that you're specifically talking about the output window. No, I think GPT-4o large is hopefully what a lot of people are thinking is going to be the next iteration, maybe GPT 4.5. Jocelyn said, as an answer to that, projects in Claude could do this. William said, I would like to.
Thrivent is a full-service.
What the fuck is going on here?
Okay, here we go. I've been meaning to change my ping button on games to my mouse forward button because that's my toggle mute for Discord. So I'm making the jump. First changing it off of my Discord toggle mute button, but now my foot pedal and doing this. Oh.
This is on PS5? Wait a minute.
Thank you very much, Dark Knight.
I wonder if we were here in a visitor center.
This is it's kind of a joke point.
Because I don't think AI spawned at this. Oh, there.
Back at substation, kind of.
Yeah, they're by the red smoke, surely, right?
Either that or sub.
They're probably working their way. Yeah, they're probably working their way towards substation.
Okay.
They probably spawned back there. Oh yeah, here.
Knock that.
2 dead?
Yeah, other one here.
Nice. Good work.
Man, they were in the wrong spot.
Yeah, literally the entire team got wiped in 4 seconds. Oh my god. Jeez, dude. Right, that way.
Oh, dude, is this a bot squad?
For them.
I don't think I got a single kill there, so I'll let you guys do it
4-7
first.
ripperoni, dude. Damn.
Nah, dude, this is a bot squad. No way with this
You
gear.
got this guy fixed.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
a purple vest.
yeah. I looted one of the 3. I didn't touch the other 2.
I didn't get a single kill, so we'll tell your guesses.
Oh,
Right, assist though.
Sometime. Here. Oh, it's yeah. Alright, well, let's go admin.
Alright.
Oh, so messed up. Those poor bastards. I mean, the TTK, what do you think about the TTK? Like, it feels a little fast sometimes.
Yeah. Something I talked about the other day was, I guess some people have proposed removing ammo types, so it's just
like
armor. It'd be kind of like DMZ in a way.
Yeah. I don't like that. It's like, the prospect of bringing expensive armor and ammo feeds the gear fear.
Yeah.
So much. I would rather than just figure out a damage values slightly different, maybe. You know,
I mean, the easiest thing is just increase the overall health pool to the game.
For that, yeah. Maybe
More shots down, yeah.
If they're dying too quick, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I
I
feel
wouldn't mind
like
it being a little bit tankier.
it does seem like this game is very headshot rewarding.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind that in games.
I don't know, like the fast TTK is actually nice when you're solo, because you can like
So
we just
nice.
did there, you can drop 3 guys before they know what to hit them.
You are not wrong.
As a solo player, it's better to have a fast TTK.
It's the same thing even like in Tarkov. If you're fully kitted out with everything, you can still get one tap, you know, to the head. I mean, I guess if you have a visor on, whatever, it can protect your forehead, but you know, you take a bullet there, you're dead. It kind of makes it, it gives you that chance, to your point. If you're solo, you got a shot.
But those
But if you're fighting
guys,
3 like fully tanked guys that you cannot get through, no matter what, then it's like, all right, what's
So
the
hard.
point?
yeah, I mean those guys though, damn, they had no chance. They didn't even have a chance to press the button to stop the smoke. I mean, in the end, I would keep it like this. The only thing I would change is maybe reduce the armor durability reduction when you take shots.
Yeah.
So that the armor stays viable for slightly longer.
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
There's a shield guy here, Stone. So he would have had 2 if I hadn't killed that guy.
Oh no.
2? Oh, just one. Okay.
Just one. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll
There's
find
a guy
another.
over there shooting 2.
They're
Yeah,
shooting
where's
at us?
I think he was shooting at me when I went by, and he's still aggroed onto me. No, he's shooting over there somewhere.
He bugged, you think? So
He could be bugged. I have seen that before.
Yeah, I definitely had aggroed him though.
I'm gonna
although I do think this is bot lobby
Where
though.
was that shielder? Did you
Upstairs,
kill him?
no, I didn't. Not this time.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, there he is.
+1.
Secret place where I found anything. Was it this building?
On another goal, loose loot. What the frick?
I hear more AI up ahead here. I'm gonna go check it out.
Yep. Sort of behind you.
These sets are so loud.
Oh, there. It could
You
be
got heal
someone's
sticks?
collateral. Yeah. Sorry about that.
right now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Could we watch
Oh,
that?
Shielder. Come
There
on,
you
man.
go.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go, Michigan Bleed.
Incredible.
Alright, I might have to go check that game out somewhere. Blackhawk something. I don't know. I doubt if it's a free game, but I'll look into it. Alright, I think I might try to find me a good stuff. Yo, Wendy, what's good? Said superb. Appreciate it. I don't know about superb, but we doing something, you know? I'm gonna try to wrap just this little section up right here. And I think I might call it quits because I'm running out of black on my palette actually, and I don't feel like adding more paints right now. I added black before I got started. I thought that would be enough. Well, I guess it's gotten me to this point, which is not a bad stopping point for today. See if we can just blend a little bit of this stuff in a little softer here. Alright, and then I need to do that here. And then maybe if I do this, like that. Right there. Right there. Alright, that might do me for the day. I think I feel comfortable with that. Alright, let's see what we got. Yeah, that jacket's starting to, hey man, that jacket's starting to come to life. Working on the fabrics. Little shadows starting to pop out and shit. I don't look too bad for the day. Oh boy. The reference. Like I said, we'll keep working on this for the next week or so. Get these brushes clean before I get up out of here. I'm gonna have to change this thing right here. Basically done. Alright, I can fold it a few more times, I guess. Let's see. No? How would I get it? Fold just like this. There you go. I need some clean thinner in here too. This thinner is super dirty. Everything dirty. My dinner's dirty. My baby oil needs to be changed out. That's pretty nasty. Yo, Sammy Adams. You are right on that point. So let's not vote for Kamala Harris, bro. Let's not do that, bro. Yeah, let's not do the Camilla thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, dog. What you thought? You thought that was an insult to me? You thought you was about to make me mad with that shit? You thought you was about to... I don't know what you thought with the comment, but I appreciate the comment, though. But we good. We all good, bro. Ain't nobody voting for Chameleon. She plays Negro. She plays Negro. Chameleon. She plays Negro. She plays Negro. Communist Camilla. Nah, we good, dog. Don't worry about that. Hey. Hey. I still don't vote, though. I keep thinking about voting, man. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm gonna vote. I don't think I'm gonna vote, bro. I don't feel right playing a little game. It don't sit right with me. And then I feel like I get to talk more shit if I don't vote. Because if you vote for it and it don't work out, if you vote for it and it don't work out, don't complain, because that's what you asked for. Me, I don't ask for none of this shit. So I complain all the time about everything. Because I have still yet to meet a candidate who will fulfill all my expectations. You know what I'm saying? See, I like Trump because he don't code switch. Trump, a rich white man. He always been a rich white man his whole life. That's all he know. See, he don't code switch. He don't need. If he don't like it, he don't like it. And like some people who pander and code switch and all that shit, I don't like that shit, man. I don't like that. Biden talking about, oh, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Oh, man, what the hell? What kind of shit is that? Huh? I don't understand that part. But then, you know, Trump wanna keep supporting Israel. This motherfucker wanna bring back stop and frisk. And a lot of other shit too that's just like, damn. Like nobody don't get my vote, bro. Nobody don't get my vote. And that's what everybody keeps saying, man. Please vote, please vote. I get it, man. I get it. Tampon. Hey, this motherfucker talking about when I was over in Afghanistan. The records say, sir, have you ever heard of stolen valor? He called him Tampon Tim. Hey, man. Weird. They're weird. Weird people. Weird. I get it, bro. I get it. You know what? If I vote, I swear to God, bro, if I vote, I'm gonna have to vote for RFK. I'm gonna have to vote for RFK, man. If I do vote, bro. Everybody's like, that's a wasted vote. Hey. If I'm voting for the lesser of the evils, I think RFK might be the best option. I don't even want to do that though, because people say, "Oh, you just throwing away a vote." Nah, I'm good. I just keep my votes, man. Hey, not AWOLs. Yo, they is killing this dude. Hashtag AWOLs. It says discharged. Vote RFK, just vote. Whatever you do, motherfucker, go to the ballot box, bitch. I don't give a fuck if you pimp saying your own name and vote for your damn self. The New Republic of California, do whatever. Just go and do it. I feel you. Get my little sticker. I voted. Now, yeah, I may or may not. More than AWOLs. I gotta use that, bro. I gotta use Tampon Tim, aka AWOLs, aka Mr. Stolen Valor. Yo, once again, that's what everybody say, man. If you get to these positions like this, yo, can your background withstand the scrutiny, bro? A motherfucker's gonna look you up, dog. And they gonna talk to your elementary teacher. They gonna talk to the librarian at the university you went to. They gonna talk to your doctor. They gonna look up every motherfucking year you was supposed to pay taxes ever since you started paying taxes. They gonna look up your military career records and see if you were in active duty or not. They gonna look up your Twitter account, your Facebook account, your Instagram, your emails, Yahoo, Gmail, AOL, all that shit. So you better be super straight and narrow. I ain't trying to be no president, because motherfuckers start digging up my skeleton, bruh. They have a field day with that shit. Motherfuckers, they have a field day with that shit, dog. I'll just tell them. That was the old me. That was the old me, and I'm different now. I appreciate y'all chilling in the studio with me. I'm trying to get out of here at 5. We did 2 hours. What the fuck is I got a pimple on my thigh? We did our little 2 hours, and I'll get with you guys tomorrow. Peace.